Hi everyone, it's Miss Allen and I am here with your Level Up activity. Today's Level Up activity is a scavenger hunt for the parts of the plant. So with adult permission, take a walk outside in your yard or a park or really anywhere outside, and I'm sure you'll be able to find all the different parts of the plant. Today we're going to be looking for the roots, the leaves, the stem, and the flower of different kinds of plants. Now, sometimes it's okay to pull up a plant. Sometimes you want to leave them in the ground. So make sure that you're asking your adult who goes with you on the scavenger hunt whether it's okay to pull those plants up. The other option, if you don't want to pull up any of your plants, is you could do a photo scavenger hunt with a phone. Go around and take pictures of those things that you see and create a scavenger hunt scrapbook. So today, I'm actually going to be going around my backyard to look at the different plants that I have. I've got a few edible plants and I have a few inedible plants. Inedible means you can't eat it. Edible means you can. So let's take a look. In this bed, I've got lots of peppers. So I'm just gonna kind of show you my pepper plants so that you can see the different parts of a plant on an edible vegetable plant. This is our stem, reaching high into the sky, connecting from underground where my roots are to the leaves so that they can absorb sunshine, to my flowers that will attract pollinators like bees and bugs and butterflies, and all the way until they become a pepper. So this is the beginning of a tiny little pepper that eventually I'll get to eat in my food. Some of the other plants I have aren't edible. Let's take a look at some of those. This is a butterfly bush, and I'm actually going to go ahead and trim some of my butterfly bush's flowers off because they start to turn brown once they're ready to go. And you can see I've got some flowers at the top. I'm gonna keep this for my sort. Flowers come in all shapes and sizes. They don't all look the same. Here are some other flowers that I'm growing as well. This is a cone flower. Totally different color, totally different shape, totally different than the butterfly bush flower. If you take a look over here, I've got a cactus flower. Again, another example of how flowers can be so diverse and different. Plants can be really diverse and different. This cactus looks nothing like the rest of the plants in my garden. If you come over here, I've got some other edible plants that are growing. These are my vegetable, this is another vegetable garden, and these are my cucumbers. And you can actually see a tiny, tiny baby cucumber growing. And you can see it's attached to the end of a flower. This is showing that process of a flower becoming the new plant that I'll be able to grow. There are seeds inside that cucumber that could plant a new cucumber plant. Another type of flower, a lily, totally different than anything else we've seen so far. Leaves, the stem, and the roots underground. I do want to pull up a few plants so that I can include them in my scavenger hunt though. So I'm going to go ahead and pull up one of these. And some people call them weeds, but some weeds I don't really think are so bad. This weed exactly. Oop. Having a hard time getting it out of the ground because it's got very strong roots. Let me see if I can find an easier one. Nope. Dang it. Maybe this guy. There we go. This guy's trying to be a tree. In fact, it's trying to be the tree right behind me. I can tell because these leaves look really similar to the leaves above me, and I find these all the time in my yard from the little seeds that come from this tree. So I've already gathered up some of my other plants, and now I'm gonna do one activity with my plant scavenger hunt. I can sort them. And so I've made a little paper, and made a spot for my roots, my leaves, my stems, and my flowers. So this stem actually came from a honeysuckle plant, and honeysuckle is a vine. So if you notice, this stem actually is very curvy and wavy because it's vining around other things. I'm gonna put that stem here. But if you look here, I've got a really super straight stem. This is a stem off of my lavender plant. And lavender is an herb that smells so good. I'm gonna put that here. And if you look, you can even see just how different even two stems could be. These are the tops of a carrot, and we can actually pull a carrot. That would be really fun. So these are the leaves of my carrot, but this right here is actually the stem. What do you think would be below it? If you guessed a root, you're exactly right. And that root is the carrot, the part that we eat. So these are my stems. I'm gonna go ahead and classify my carrot into the roots category. And here's some roots from a violet plant that I pulled up. If these roots look different, you're right. These roots spread out in a different way than our carrot root does. There are lots of edible roots out there, like beets and radishes, onions, and carrots. Can you think of any others? This root, not as edible, but still cool. Leaves, those are those green things you see on all kinds of plants. They come in all kinds of shapes and sizes too. Ooh, the wind is catching my leaves. My sort. These leaves are from a carrot plant. They look totally different than the other leaves I've found. I also have some clover in my yard. And clover is that thing that you always are looking for, a 4-leaf clover. It's supposed to be good luck. Another thing I have is something that looks like clover, but isn't clover at all. This is something called Oxalis, and it's actually edible. It even tastes like sour grapes. Pretty fun. They also have one of my favorite ways to distribute seeds or send out seeds. They're touch sensitive. So if I touch this plant, the seeds will pop out right at me. I hope you guys could see that. I wonder if I can get another one to do it. Maybe not. The last thing I'm gonna sort is my flowers. This is a lavender flower, and you can see it's actually a cluster of flowers, a whole bunch of them all together. And like I said, lavender smells so good. Here's an eggplant flower. Can you see any similarities between this flower and the last one? If you said they're both purple, you're right. I've got another purple flower here. This is from my butterfly bush. And like I said with the lavender flower, it's actually a bunch of little tiny flowers all clustered together. Here I've got the leaves of my butterfly bush. And you can see something's been munching on them. Bugs, I don't know. Something was hungry. And here's my final flower that I've collected in my scavenger hunt in my backyard. This is a squash flower, a squash blossom. So this, you can actually eat this too. They're pretty good fried up. So if you take a look at my collection, I've got 2 different kinds of roots that I found, 3 different stems. Oh, that's in the wrong spot. That's a leaf. I've got 4 different kinds of flowers. 3 of them are purple. 1 of them is orange, and lots of different leaves. Now, this was just the stuff that I could pull up or cut off the plant in a small form. But some plants are really, really, really big. Like this one behind me. It's a tree. Trees are plants, and they have all the plant parts too. If you look up, you can see all the leaves. It's got tons of leaves. Those leaves help this plant to grow by collecting sunshine to create their own food in a process we call photosynthesis. Photosynthesis! I love it. This it's a trunk, but it's really like the plant stem for a tree. It's huge because it's having to move all that water and nutrients that the tree needs. Big plants, big needs. If you look down, you can see we've got roots that spread out and reach across the soil to gather up all the water and nutrients that it needs from the ground. Before we go today, I want you to take a moment to appreciate and love the plants around you. I hope you enjoyed this level up activity. I just found some mint that was growing here in my backyard. I'm gonna munch on this mint leaf. I hope you have a great day. Bye, everybody.